After a long time of waiting, FNaF fans have finally gotten the release of the Ruin DLC. I personally, and many other fans, were super excited for the game to come out, and it didn't disappoint. But, with that being said, the DLC did have its flaws. It has been a month since the release of Ruin, and in today's video I'll be going over my final thoughts and opinions of the DLC. But before we start today's video, I just want to quickly mention that I do have a Discord server, so come stop by to talk to me and some other amazing people. The link will be in the description. And with all that out of the way, sit back, grab some snacks, and enjoy the rest of the video. I think the storytelling in the Ruin DLC is absolutely phenomenal, as it lines up perfectly with the true ending of the base game. The rundown Pizzaplex really complements the story of the game. I love the idea of Cassie going back into the Pizzaplex to save her friend Gregory, which I just want to point out that Gregory's a bit of an asshat in the game, but I'll get into that in a bit. The main objective of this DLC is to save our friend Gregory, who is trapped under the Pizzaplex while also evading the attacks of the animatronics. Gregory gives us instructions on how to get to him through the Roxy walkie-talkie. We could also free some of the animatronics from their aggressive state, mainly Sun and Moon and Roxy. We also have the option to slightly repair the Glamrock animatronics by giving their parts back. I was mainly intrigued by the glitchy William Afton thingy and the Mimic, as they had little to no backstory at all, and I love these characters for that reason. It gives them mystery as we fans have to figure it out. As we progress through the game, it becomes a lot more clear that it's not Gregory who's on the other end of the walkie-talkie, but something more sinister. And when we get to the end of the game, we aren't met with Gregory, but by a tall endoskeleton known as the Mimic. The Mimic has tricked us into thinking we were talking to Gregory by mimicking his voice, and we have to run away from the creature by running through the underground tunnels and into an elevator. And once we enter the elevator, we are greeted by the voice of the real Gregory through a speaker. He tells us that we have been tricked, and then proceeds to tell us that he can't be followed, and then plummets us to the ground. So in the DLC, Gregory is not a good guy, as he backstabs us the last second. The Ruin DLC takes a drastic turn in graphics, as Ray McCaffrey stated in a blog post about the game. The main game security breach is bright, spacious, warm, and welcoming, with not too many dark areas in the game. But the DLC turns away from that, as the DLC is dark, claustrophobic, scary, and unkept. And I really like this graphic choice, as this game goes back to its original roots in the franchise. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but for me, my game didn't bug too much, whereas in the main game, my game would lag and crash a lot. So this was a major plus for me, as I got to play the game in peace. Although the same can't be said for the gameplay. The overall gameplay was mediocre in my opinion, as it feels like a downgrade compared to the original game. I wasn't too much of a fan of the Vanny mask. I feel like Steelwool overused the mask, as you're using this mask for the majority of the game. I think it was an awesome feature, don't get me wrong, but I just think they overused it. Now the same can't be said for the conduits. I absolutely loved them when I played it. It gave me a challenge when I got to the end section of the game. It really added on to the tension when you were getting chased by the Mimic. Another thing that I liked and also thought was overused was the child safety nodes. Again, it's a genius gameplay mechanic, but it's in every single chapter of the game. And sometimes it gets annoying and time-consuming when you're deactivating them. Whenever I was deactivating the safety nodes, my thought process was always the same. I would always look forward to getting it done and over with. The terminals were another great feature that could have been used just a little bit more though. I loved the idea that you can use a distraction to draw the animatronics away from you, just like in FNaF 3 and FNaF 6. I thought it was a smart idea, since Roxy is pretty hard to outmaneuver, so this mechanic made it much more easier to do so. This section of the video will be short, as there aren't too many things to talk about. The main thing that really annoyed me during my playthrough was the loading screen. This was so annoying. Whenever you start the game or die, you spend at least a minute and a half in the loading screen, which is a lot longer than the one in the base game. I personally feel like I spent more time in the loading screen than in the actual game. Another small thing that annoyed me was that there was no clear mission objective like the ones we had in the main game. Having this feature taken away from me was extremely frustrating, especially when I reached Monty's catwalks. I spent a solid hour wandering around, trying to figure out what to do. But apart from these small things, the game was okay. The character designs in this DLC are extremely well made, as it really shows how long they've been left in the ruins of the Pizzaplex. My favorite animatronic in the DLC was Chica. She had the most withering out of all the other animatronics, aside from Freddy, who was missing his head. I liked how Chica had moldy cheese all over her face. This design choice really complements Chica's character arc, as she is known for rummaging through the garbage throughout the Pizzaplex. Steelwool did a great job with all the animatronics, but with that being said, let's move on to the next point. The design of the map looks really good compared to the original game, but there are some flaws with it. I personally like the overall dark and creepy state of the Pizzaplex, because I feel like this goes back to FNaF's original roots. I also liked all the garbage and rubble that surrounded the Pizzaplex, but I feel like it was a little too claustrophobic. I feel like Steelwool could have given us more walking space through certain areas of the Pizzaplex. There weren't too many Easter eggs in this game compared to the base game, but there are a few notable ones. The most notable Easter eggs in this game are the broken Glamrock Bonnie corpse, repairing Glamrock Chica, and scooping the Mimic. The Easter eggs in the DLC makes it more notable and memorable. We have waited for so long for the Ruin DLC to come out, and got so hyped for it. But with the release of the game, there is one question that I've been continually asking myself. Was this a good DLC? And was it worth playing? And a simple way to put it is it's okay. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. I feel like I was a little dissatisfied with the final product, as there were a few things that I didn't like about the game. But overall, I'd give this game a 6 out of 10. And as always, these are only my opinions, so let me know what you guys think about the DLC in the comments down below. Before we end today's video here, I just want to once again mention that I do have a Discord server. Come stop by to talk to me and some other amazing people, and the link will be in the description. And with all that being said, I'm going to wrap up today's video here. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.